They say that there are only two things that are certain in life: death
Yeah, it's a mild inconvenience.
and taxes.
Boo! Fuck that.
Now, the worst one out of those two has to be the taxes. You're telling me that after a long, hard day of sitting on my ass, doing absolutely nothing, just making stupid YouTube videos, that I then have to turn around and give the taxman 100% of the 0 cents I make on every YouTube video so that they can fund stuff like schools and infrastructure? Like, come on, bro. So surely, using City Skylines as a simulation, we can eliminate taxes from life, right? Welcome to paradise, because that is what our city will be. In paradise, there will be absolutely zero taxes. That means citizens will be free to keep what they earn and spend as they see fit. However, as a responsible city government, we will still ensure that our budget is balanced and that we are turning a profit. Now, we start off with a nice small grant of $700,000 from the state to start our money laundering city. We'll start off by building a toll for all vehicles entering and leaving the city. We gotta make money somehow. Then, we'll just make a nice simple grid pattern and zone the necessary residential and commercial zones. We also gotta keep in mind that this is still a city, and cities need services. So, we'll build a police station, a fire station, a medical clinic, a garbage dump, and right next to the garbage dump, a body dump. They're both the same size and shape, so it just feels fitting to have them next to each other. Anyways, we're gonna put their funding at about half of what they recommend. Who are these bureaucrats to tell me that the police department might need more than 2 patrol cars? That's plenty. Any more is just government inefficiency at this point. Now look at that. Paradise is booming. Everyone obviously heard tax free and did not put any more thought into the repercussions. The fools. It also helps that we have completely greenwashed the place by advertising 100% renewable energy. And that is true, for now at least. Unfortunately, our city is losing money fast. State regulations mean that we can only charge a maximum of $2 per car and $4 per truck going through our toll booth. But we can artificially increase the number of vehicles going through the toll booth with some slightly unethical and illegal means. But there's only so much work our Treasury Department can do, which, by the way, currently consists of 2 interns in the coffee machine, and the coffee machine is currently costing more than the interns. So basically we're just gonna have to find another way to cut waste and save money. Fortunately for us, right next to our city is a very conveniently located supply of offshore oil. Now, we might say that we are committed to powering the city with 100% renewable energy, but to be completely honest, it was only because it was the cheapest source of electricity. Also, nowhere in that commitment does it say we can't drill it and sell it at ludicrous prices because, Iran or whatever. We just can't power the city with it. So we can cause as much pollution as you want drilling that sweet, sweet oil, and you'll still be sticking to our promises. So we're just gonna use the rest of our grant to... Perfect. We may be sucking up drinking water from the same place we are drilling oil, but who's really gonna notice that the water is just a bit tangy? The natives in the Amazon did pretty good when it happened to them. Plus, it's government wasted to relocate it somewhere else. That's money that could be going to something. Anyways, we now need workers to start our new oil drills. More workers than we actually have in population, so we're gonna need to expand the city. Look at that. The trucks are coming in, they're taking away the oil, and we're still losing money. God fucking damn it. Anyways, our oil may be bringing us in $3,200 per week, but it costs $4,800 just to run the damn thing, and you still gotta fund everything else. Even though we've doubled the size of the city, we also still don't have enough laborers to run the oil operations efficiently. I mean, we try to hire the kids as well to reduce as much waste as we possibly can. But then the state told us that was quote unquote highly illegal and quote unquote we gave you this grant to launder our money and make some extra on the side, not to get the governor almost impeached or something like that. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Oh well, we just have to look for some other areas to cut waste. I was just looking at the budget over here, and it surprises me that the most expensive service is not the police, it's not the fire department, it's not the body dump located next to the landfill or the landfill located you know what I'm talking about. But the most expensive service in our city are roads. Currently, the roads in our oil district, they're all dirt roads so that we could save money on maintaining them. And then we put paved roads in the residential areas to entice people to move in. But I just had an epiphany. People are gonna move in regardless because there was zero taxes to pay. So what's even the point in trying to make the city look nice for them? And we also just built single detached family homes everywhere. And that was just such a bad mistake. They take up so much space and they can only maybe house like 5 or 6 people in the best case scenario. Half of them can't even go to work, by the way, because that's illegal apparently. So here's the plan, right? We're going to tear up the roads, we're going to relocate half the city into temporary housing as we construct high-rise apartment blocks in their place. And we'll just have to like forcibly evict the other half of the city because we just don't have enough money to find housing for them. Alright, we're finally getting somewhere. We fixed the population crisis, but we are still facing a worker shortage. Specifically, we're facing a skilled worker shortage. We have not been building any schools because it would add way too much to our deficit, but now both our oil and commercial zones are demanding workers with stuff like an elementary level reading and maths level. And it just doesn't help that our commercial zones are designated as high density, taking away so many workers from the oil industry and demanding workers of higher education levels. We're talking like high school and university education levels. Like, how preposterous is that? Basically, we're just gonna build a single primary school. We'll just like sell it off to the oil companies or whatever so they can like deal with it because I'm not fussed to. And we're also just going to replace all of these wasteful, high-density shopping centres and other high-rise commercial buildings with standard, single-storey supermarkets and mom-and-pop restaurants. You know, the type of place where the manager is an underpaid 16-year-old that is failing maths. Oh boy, finally. All of our skilled labour is going into the oil industry. We can now have enough educated and uneducated workers to get somewhere. And our glorified city is finally turning a profit. But it's still not big enough to meet the demands of the state or to remain reliably in the green. So we're still gonna have to go more efficient. First order of business. We're gonna introduce a bus service into our city. Now I know what you're thinking, a bus service? In paradise? What a waste of government resources. But hear me out. $20 tickets. Think about it. People currently either driving to work or they're walking. Now here's the best part. Most of them can't afford cars because they're all currently stuck in primary school learning how to read so they're somewhat employable. That means most of them are taking the incredibly unpleasant walk on dirt roads as tanker trucks fly past them throwing dust and sand and oil into their face. Plus, if we just buy the biggest buses possible and cram as many people as we possibly can into them, we only really need like one bus. Plus, we can make the bus driver like a kid that's learning how to drive or something. Like, then we wouldn't have to pay him. Fuck, he'll be paying us because he'd be paying us to do his like driving courses. Basically, it's just free money. Alright, next on the agenda, our oil district, which up until now has been called the Beechwood Oil Area because we've been leasing it out to private companies this whole time. That's about to change though. While it was good to privatize it at the start to get our operations up and running, we're just losing out on so much revenue now. I mean, all of these greedy companies are taking the city's God-given resources for their own gain. And like the city are like the representatives of the people or something like that. Whatever. We'll evict all of these greedy private corporations and nationalize the whole area under the Paradise City Oil Company so the whole city can benefit from our resources. Our final item, the Peace de Resistance, a second toll booth. Specifically, this one will be separating the residential areas to the jobs in the industrial areas. This means not only do our citizens have to pass through a toll booth twice a day to get to work and back, but tanker trucks entering the city to pick up fuel before exporting it has to go through a toll booth, get this, 4 times, making us $16 per truck for them literally just existing. I make that much per hour in my actual job. Oh, fuck's sakes. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Our city is not only doing well financially, but it is booming. What this means is that we can invest more into Paradise. We are talking a plastic factory to get even more revenue out of our oil company. A high school, because apparently people that can read and do math at a year 4 level is no longer enough for positions like senior offshore drilling engineer. Oh, and more $20 bosses. It also seems that we have now satisfied the state and they are thankfully leaving us alone now. All we gotta do now is just sit back, relax, and watch our oil city just grow naturally. Welcome to Paradise, because that is what our city is. In Paradise, there are absolutely 0 taxes. Citizens are free to keep what they earn and spend as they see fit, which current data shows that citizens are spending the most on tolls, bus tickets, and rent. Rent in Paradise is actually one of the most expensive in the country because of how lucrative an opportunity it is to move into a world-leading, 0 tax, endless opportunity city. Definitely not because the city government owns all the property and there is 0 competition. Speaking of the city government, it is one of the most responsible in the country, printing out surpluses that are typically double what the city spends year after year after year. The population of Paradise is 6,500 strong and is still rapidly growing. Paradise oil is one of the most sought after in the world, being 25% cheaper on average than the usual market price, an absolute godsend with the Iran war going on. No one's really sure about how the city of Paradise is able to sell their oil so cheap and still return such a high profit, but in this economy, no one's really questioning it. Now I, Sparky, the mayor of Paradise, say that I've done a pretty good job for myself. You know, the state are satisfied, the executives of Paradise City Oil are satisfied, but most importantly, the peer, who am I talking about? The shareholders are satisfied. You know, I think I've earned myself a well-earned vacation. You know, I've always wanted to go to New York, and I heard it's quite nice at this time of the year. And what perfect timing as well. My $500,000 paycheck for the week just came in last night actually. Oh, I think I'm gonna stay in the Hilton Midtown. I heard good things about it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Oh man, whatever. I'll talk to you guys about it later when I come back. I'll see you around. Oh hey there, Luigi. How you going?